Hi everyone, we're back with Jeff. If you are not familiar with Jeff, he's the one whose 911, 997 I drove and who got me into the whole Porsche experience. He's also the one who had the beautiful RS7 that I also drove and sold for good money on a Bringer trailer. Today we're driving, or we're gonna take Jeff's new acquisition for a spin, which is this 991.2 Carrera T. So before we get it out on the road, I wanted to hear Jeff's thoughts.
It's a 2019 911 Carrera T. So it's pretty much based off a Carrera base with a couple special GT options like Porsche torque vectoring, mechanical LSD, shorter drive ratio like on the S and the GTS, shorter shifter, lightweight glass from the GT2 RS.
So both front and back, right?
Yep.
And look, and there's no defrosters.
Right, no defroster. Because race car.
How does this differ from Carrera S?
Carrera S, it has the base turbos, which are smaller, so
Okay.
they spool up faster.
Okay. Also, this one has the base turbos.
Yep. This is pretty much based on a base Carrera.
So it's same displacement, just different turbos. So smaller turbos, they spool up faster. But this car has been tuned, right?
Yeah. It has the APR stage 1, which is about 100 horsepower, 100 torque.
Base Carrera brakes, which are still pretty massive if you think about it. One thing we forgot to mention, or didn't mention, is the fact that this car has been wrapped,
yes,
right? So it's white underneath.
Yep.
Check out the trunk. So this is the original color, and just like with any modern and not so modern Porsche, look how deep this frunk is. You can actually fit a person in here. Trust me, I've tried, and I definitely do fit in here. I don't have the guts to actually close it, but
Close it.
Yeah. Yeah. Will you open it for me?
Yeah.
Oh, this has also the spoiler, right?
Yep, that's the sport package spoiler.
With the T, you also get grayed out accents. So the calipers are gray,
Yes.
the mirrors are gray, and also to those who may not know, these slats are also gray. Anything else that's gray?
Badge.
Oh, I guess the badge is gray. On the inside, this comes with these beautiful seats. These are the 18-way seats.
Yeah. And this is the Carrera T interior package with these stripes. And the material is very nice.
Yeah, it's you have to feel it. You have to touch it to actually believe it. This is, I don't even know what to compare this to, but they feel really, really good. Got 18-way adjustable seats. You can actually adjust these bolsters here at the bottom. You can still get to the back. And in the back, Jeff has kids, so he removed the bottom seats. He kept the backs, but he has a baby seat in there, and he can haul his kids. Now, Jeff, Alcantara, was it a suede headliner?
Yeah, no sunroof.
No sunroof. Now, could you option this car with a sunroof?
Yep, you can get a sunroof on it.
Huh. And then this is the GT3 steering wheel, which is actually a lot smaller than the one that I installed in my Cayman. I kind of regret not going for something like this, but these are actually very, very pricey. You've got the piano gloss black trim. It goes all the way around the radio. He didn't do the radio delete option yet. He's contemplating it, right? Sport chrono package. This is the 7-speed shifter. Heated seats, doesn't have cooled seats. And then here on the options menu, you've got the adjustable shocks, traction control. You can turn it completely off. Spoiler, you can deploy it up or down. He's got the sport exhaust and of course start-stop function, which no one ever uses. So Porsche eliminated the sport button from here, but they put it right here on the steering wheel. And technically they just replaced it with a blank. The newer ones are slightly more improved, but this is actually a very nice toggle switch. You can put it in sport. So if you keep it in sport, you get Burbles. Sport Plus, you don't get Burbles. But Sport Plus actually spools up turbos. So you have more boost off the bat, which is kind of cool. You've got the, what is this called?
Porsche entry and drive.
Entry, yeah, there you go. You don't have to insert the key. This little knob is always there. So you just, as long as you have your key in your pocket, you can just start it up and drive. The door panels, I've got to say, are very, very cool. Very GT-esque with this super, super cool door pull, which kind of matches my watch strap. But look, very, very cool looking. The panels are typical Carrera panels of that generation, which are, again, very, very high quality. You've got some leather, some deviated stitching here. These buttons, which I know they're probably going to fail. but don't worry, I've got a DIY on how to replace them. A nice Carrera T badge. And of course, 3 pedals because this is a manual transmission car. And speaking of which, it's a factory short shifter?
Yep.
Okay, now, is it from a GT3 or is it something different?
I think they just call it the sport shifter. And then it has a different knob for the T.
Okay, so you've got the red lettering, or orange, yeah. And 7 gears, look at that, ladies and gentlemen, 7 gears. Last but not least, you can option this car with sport buckets, right? So it's either these seats, or you can technically do the base far away, or the sport buckets. These seats, I've got to say, feel fantastic. And especially if you want to put a baby up top, sport buckets probably don't necessarily work. So if I were to get this, as much as I always praise sport buckets, I think I would option my car with seats like that, so my kids can ride in the front, I think. I mean, I say it now, but who knows?
And the sport bucket delete the whole rear seat area.
Oh, that's right. So it really turns it into a GT3. And then under the hood of this thing here, let's take a look at it. Look what happens under the engine. There's this massive flat 6. This is the only thing that you get to see. Some fans and your coolant and oil filler. And yeah, but that's all you see. Twin turbo, flat 6. So producing how much horsepower now, you think?
370 stock. APR says 470.
470, that's pretty good. You gotta love this sport exhaust. It looks so cool. Oh, and one thing to note, .2s, so the 991.2s, have these vents behind, and they extract the air from the turbos, right?
Yep.
We're gonna take it for a spin, and we're gonna have a casual chat as we drive, and we're gonna take you for a ride with us. As we let the engine warm up a little bit, first thing you notice is how light the clutch is. It's a little lighter, not a lot, but it's a little lighter compared to the Cayman. Obviously the pedal spacing is perfect in each one of these Porsches. The whole layout here is very familiar. It's very similar to the Cayman, except you've got the infotainment system that's slightly different, and you still have the radio, and I don't. Before I even head out, the shifter. Those of you who have never driven Porsches, you have to experience these shifters. These are so amazing, and this being the short throw shifter is just amazing. But one thing we also didn't mention is this car is not only riding on Porsche's sport suspension, but it's also riding on lowering springs, right?
Yep,
H&R springs. Yeah, H&R, okay. All right, so now we are in zero mode, which is your pedestrian mode. If we put it, make a left here, if we put it in sport, so sport opens up the valves and the exhaust, you can hear that it gets a lot louder. Oh yeah. Again. Oh. Hopefully we can do some drive-bys later with Jeff driving by. But oh my God, these burbles. Now, the interesting thing is, if you put it in Sport Plus, the burbles disappear, but like we were saying earlier, the turbos are pre-spooled, so you're riding at like 1 psi. Even at idle, you're at 1 psi, because it ups the pressure, so you're always ready to spring faster. Again, as we continue to let the engine warm up, swaying left and right. Sorry for making you dizzy, Jeff, but holy moly, the car is so flat. It is so flat.
Shotgun.
Oh, even... Huh. So I gotta say, do you notice?
Not too much difference.
Not too much difference, but on bumps, you actually, you feel bumps a lot more when you put the sport suspension in Sport. But yeah, oh yeah, look at this. These burbles, this shifter, and the fact that you can hold kids in this car. Come on. Okay. Oh. So now, because of the fact that this car is turbocharged compared to the NA engine, the power delivery is so different. And I can only compare to the Cayman, which I've been driving for a while. But with this one, even though it's a smaller displacement engine, Cayman is 3.4 versus this is 3.0. This is turbocharged, so the power kicks in from I think 1500 RPM or so. You can definitely feel it, and it just continues building, and it really makes the car feel a lot faster compared to the old NA vehicles. All right, you ready for this, peeps? Check this out. Second gear. Look at Jeff bracing. my God. Oh my God. One thing I've got to say, brakes. I'm used to my track pads, so the brakes do feel a bit weak, but they're not weak in general. They're very solid brakes, but I'm used to my squeaky track pads. But these are obviously more than adequate for this type of a vehicle. The sound also is, I've got to say, slightly different. And again, I'm comparing it to the NA that I drive. It's slightly muted, but it doesn't mean that it's a bad sound. You still hear that Porsche raspiness.
That's why you need the cat delete.
Yes, and especially with the cat delete, I'm sure it becomes even more pronounced. But to those of you who say that, yeah, the dot 2 takes away from the Porsche-ness, I don't think so. Oh, and come on, how can you not get tired of the whooshiness? Whoosh. Here, let's put it in burble mode. Oh. Okay, enough. You can easily get in trouble in this car. Easily. Holy moly. Wow. So the power delivery, I've got to say, is very comparable to my M3. The way it delivers power. Because it starts from early on and it just continues building. The Cayman, you don't get any power below 4,500 RPM.
Yep.
With this one, you're always in the power band. Always. Okay. That was very illegal speeds very, very quickly. I could get in trouble with a car like this. So on that note, thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you thought of this car and this clip down below. And we'll be seeing you in the next video. Bye-bye.
You got room for another pull after this turn?
Yeah? All right, fine. Here, this one?
Yeah.
No cops? Okay. This is stupid fun. Ah, so much fun though. So much fun. Thanks, Jeff. This is so awesome.
The motor's still pretty NA-ish.
Yeah. It definitely feels NA.
At this point.
Absolutely. Here, let's see if we can show the spool difference. So now this is in Sport Plus. Look what happens when he changes the modes. So this is in Sport. Now put in Sport Plus. So amazing, you can hear the turbo spool. It sounds so cool. And now this is just a pedestrian mode.